Gage, how are you, brother?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm also doing great. I'm glad to have you on my show.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. Hang on, I'm just gonna plug my headphones in real quick so I can hear it better.
Hi, it's fine.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear now.
Yeah, I have to say I've been watching some of your stuff. Very impressive. Quite,
Thank you.
but so what I would like to know, what is your martial art background? Like, how did you get into martial arts?
The thing with martial arts is, it really made a positive impact on me and it really changed my outlook on life in general because the thing with martial arts is I feel like it tends to be misconcepted by a lot of people where people think that it's just violence and just punching and kicking each other, and it's more than just that. It's about discipline, it's about self-motivation, self-confidence, and that's what I love so much about martial arts is the impact that it's had on me, and I wouldn't change it for anything else.
Yeah, indeed, what you're saying. Yeah, martial arts for like it's not just for kicking, but if I must say, martial arts for keeping the peace, for self-defense, and it shouldn't be misused. But at least for self-defense, like standing up for others, you know,
Absolutely.
discipline.
Absolutely, I agree. Yeah, because especially I started my martial arts journey in my adulthood, and the thing was I did a little bit of taekwondo in my youth, but my parents had pulled me out of a class because I was getting in a lot in my youth. I was hell on wheels. I was a troubled kid. I was always getting in trouble and all that, and I think my parents were worried that I was going to use martial arts for the wrong reasons, and I don't think and I think that was what was they were worried about. So I began my martial arts journey again in my adulthood at the age of 27. I'm 33 now, and
Oh,
I began it. I started I joined a martial arts school here in Los Angeles, California, specifically Burbank, called Inspire Martial Arts, and under Grandmaster Keith Winkle. And I've been a student of his ever since. And he's been a wonderful teacher. I learned so much from him.
yeah,
And and what I like about our martial arts school is even though we're Taekwondo based, we experiment in other forms of martial arts like Hapkido, Jujitsu, and grappling and all that stuff because the one thing my grandmaster taught me was punching and kicking can only do so much, and God forbid you're ever put in a bad situation. You need to know if somebody's got you in a headlock, you need to know how to get out of a headlock. Hitting somebody or kicking is not going to get you out of a headlock. You need to know techniques of how to get out of a headlock.
yeah,
But that's what I love about my school so much is the techniques I've learned and but also the people I've met too. I've gotten to meet a lot of great people through my martial arts school, like a lot of great students I've met that I've become really good friends with. And then, of course, my grandmaster and his wife, who is also a master, and his son, who is also chief level in the martial arts school as well. And I became a black belt 2 years ago
wow,
after after 4 years of extensive training. It took me 4 years to get my black belt.
yeah, it's a long journey, but at least it
Yeah,
pays off. At least it pays off.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
how?
It definitely. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So how did you get into acting?
So acting with it's actually crazy because I had always wanted to act since I had always wanted to act since I was a kid, and I got inspired by movies like Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, all those like
Yeah,
big Spielberg movies and all that.
yeah,
And what around the time I turned 17, I did my first acting role in a Batman fan film called Batman Untold, and I got the role of the Joker because I had the laugh for it at the time. I can't do it anymore, probably. But what happened was I was involved. So in my high school years, I was involved in a television and sound TV and sound class. So like half of my school day, I would have my regular school classes, and the other half of the day, I'd go to a television and sound program, which was really cool
yeah,
for my junior and senior year of high school.
yeah,
And I remember as I got involved, in that, my one of my classmates discovered my evil laugh, and he said to himself, "That's the Joker." And that's how my acting journey started, was just by getting involved in a high school project practically. And then it turned into many years later, it turned into pursuing the Hollywood dream.
yeah. Who do you, who okay in martial arts? Who do you admire?
Martial arts wise,
Yeah.
I admire so many. I would definitely say Jean-Claude Van Damme is one of my top influences. And I would also say that even Dolph Lundgren, who I've gotten the pleasure to meet more than once. I met Van Damme too. Van Damme was very brief when I met him, but he was hounded by his fans, so I didn't get a chance to have
Oh,
like much interaction with him. But when I met Dolph, Dolph was the sweetest guy ever, and he and I clicked when we met, like the times that we've met, because I know his stunt double pretty well, Tony Messenger. And Tony Messenger looks just like Dolph. They look like they could be brothers. It's pretty uncanny. But but yeah, Dolph is like a phenomenal martial artist. I've admired his movies. My first and most people's introduction to Dolph's work was Rocky 4. My introduction to my introduction to Dolph was The Punisher,
yeah,
because I was a big fan of the comics as a kid. And when I found out that there was a movie from the 80s of The Punisher, I was like, "Oh, I gotta see this." I'm like, Dolph Lundgren. I'm like, this guy seems interesting." I was like 10 years old as a kid when I saw this, and I immediately became a big fan of Dolph's. And then I watched Rocky 4, where he played Drago, and he was like just like his character, and the way I was inspired by his physique, his presence. I was like, I want to be like this guy. He's big, he's, tough, and I want to be just like that. Like, it was an inspiration to me to be like Dolph. And then I got into Van Damme's movies and all that, like watching movies like Universal Soldier, Death Warrant, Double Impact, and all that stuff.
yeah,
And like their movies were such a big influence on me in wanting to become a martial artist.
yeah. Same goes for me. I enjoy watching those films, and what I love about those films, so realistic and no stunt doubles, and they don't use cables.
Yes, absolutely.
Like if you can
Yeah.
watch, like if you can watch Jack Chan. I know some of his films, older films. In
Oh,
other
absolutely.
in other fight scenes, he did use the cables, but none of
Yeah,
his
that's
films.
right.
That's why none of them they get injured. No,
Yeah. And to give some other mentions
like
of martial artists that I'd mentioned, well, not just Dolphin Van Damme, but even Jackie Chan,
yeah,
Bruce Lee, I mean, they were definitely Bruce Lee and Jackie were definitely a big influence on martial arts culture.
yeah,
And I remember when I saw oh my God, I forgot which movie this is. I should know this, but there's two movies where Jackie Chan and Benny the Jet Urquidez fight each other, and I
oh,
thought it was
yeah, too.
you probably
It's
know it.
yeah, no, it's Wilson Mills.
Yes,
right?
yes,
Studying along Summer Hong Yin Biao.
that's right, that's right, that's right.
Oh, not to mention Kate Vital is also starred there. That's a villain.
Yes,
We fight
yes, and
we fight alongside with Benny the Jet. Look at this.
Benny the Jet, that's right. Yeah, and I've
And
had the pleasure of meeting Benny the Jet. Oh,
uh,
go ahead, go ahead.
the second one was the Dragons Forever, released in 1988.
88, that's right, that's right. Hmm. Yeah, Benny is amazing at what he does, and I've had the pleasure of meeting him more than once, and then I got to train with him at one of his seminars. I got to learn some stuff from him, and I can tell you now, I was very sore when I was done with the seminar. Like that's how he really pushes you to do the best you can do with martial arts, and he will always wants to see students, at their best, and that's what I admire so much about him. In a funny story, one of my friend's daughters was training with Sensei Benny one time, and when she was training with Sensei Benny, she accidentally hit Sensei Benny, and she was like, "Oh my God, Sensei Benny, I'm so sorry." And he said, "No, nobody's ever hit me before. That's amazing." But Benny the Jet Urquidez is one of the best, and I admire him so much, and I hope I have a chance to train at one of his seminars again, or get an opportunity to train with him again. Like I learned some really good stuff from him, and I've also learned some really good techniques from Don the Dragon Wilson as well.
Wow.
And Don's a good friend. Don is a good friend as well. I've had the pleasure of knowing Don for the last 5 years after I was like a fan turned friend,
Uh,
and he's a one guy.
oh, I believe Mr. Don Wilson stays in LA.
Yes, Don is in LA too. He's here in LA too.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he's a great guy. He's a wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful guy. A phenomenal, phenomenal kickboxer too.
Yeah.
I remember I saw his compilation videos of his fights, his professional fights. And I remember when he just like kicked a guy that still had his hands up like that and still managed to knock him down. I was just like, wow. I'm like, I gotta like learn from this guy. And I met Don at a Muay Thai grand opening of a Muay Thai school 5 years ago when the pandemic was still going on at the time.
Yeah.
The pandemic was still going on at the time, but they were just like having like a soft opening of like, places were starting to reopen again and all that. And martial arts schools were starting to reopen too around that time. And I remember like I met Don and we had a conversation for probably like a good 2 hours. What I love about Don is he'll take the time to talk to you, even like even if he has somewhere to be, he'll still take the time to talk with you, tell you about his experiences, to give you some advice and all that. And Don is one of the best alongside Benny Urquidez.
Great inspiration.
But yeah,
Okay. What project like are you working on from now on?
right now, so I did Cyborg 4 recently. Cyborg Overture is the name of the title. The sequel, it's an official sequel to the
It's
Cyborg franchise.
uh,
And
from 1989.
yes, yes. It's the fourth movie.
Okay.
Van Damme's not involved in it, and but he's not involved in this, but
Well, your
it's
first
a
movie.
whole yeah. It's but I have a small part in it, and I didn't have much action in it, but like I was happy to have a brief, appearance in it. So I'm really excited to see that come to fruition. It's directed by Dustin Ferguson. Unfortunately, so Albert Pion was shooting the film about 10 years ago, and unfortunately, he got diagnosed with, I think it was dementia, and was unable to finish the film. So my buddy Dustin Ferguson, was hired to finish the movie 10 years later to take the footage that they already shot and then combine it with some newly filmed footage. and he contacted me and he said, "Do you want to be involved in Cyborg 4?" And I'm like, "Yeah, totally." And so I got that. And then I've got another film coming up. It's not action. It's actually a bit of like a fantasy kind of a film. It's called Blind Fate. And it's yeah, yeah, and it's gonna be like a bit of a fantasy film and all that. And I have a part as a rock musician in it, which should be fun. And because I play music too, and not just not yeah, yeah. I don't only have martial arts and acting in my background. I also play music too. And I've been playing guitar for 23 years, but I just play I don't play music in the movie. At least I think I might be doing something for the soundtrack in post production, but in the film I just play a punk musician. But that's
like
like in the movie.
like like Steven Seagal.
Pretty much, yeah, like Steven
Yeah,
Seagal.
he's also a musician. Like even on his films, he does play music.
That's right. Yeah, Steven's a guitar player too. Yeah, I haven't had the pleasure of yeah, I I've always wanted to I've always wanted to do a film where I could bring music and martial arts into one film. So, I mean, that's something that I'd love to do one day. I know Don Wilson, when I was talking with him time, had this idea of a project he wanted to do, where I would take my musical abilities and martial arts abilities and put it into one character. So, I mean, that'd be something to look forward to one day if it ever comes to fruition. But anyways, some other films that I've been doing, like the thing is, this year I've focused mostly on music than I have with acting, because so the thing with the film industry these days is it's gotten so like it's kind of gotten slow ever since we had the strikes in 2023. Unfortunately, a lot of productions left Los Angeles, and they've been going to film in either other states or other countries, and it's unfortunately it's put a lot of people out of work, like a lot of my stunt friends have told me that when they've gotten lucky, they've gotten hired for some work, they've had to travel out of state for it because they're not filming in LA. And I remember when I did a job as a production assistant a couple months back, and I went to I think Sony Studios in Culver City, or it was no, it was Culver City Studios, something like that. And it just seemed so empty, like not much was going on. And when I first started in the industry and I was getting my feet wet and I was working in the back lots of like Warner Brothers and Universal Studios and Disney Studios and like all these other back lots, it was like there was happening like nobody's business. Like there was always work. And it's just like I think, and I'm not completely against, I don't want to say I'm completely against AI. I mean, I know that AI has had its benefits and and it has had its benefits as a tool, but I feel that to an extent, people have been abusing it with creative purposes. And I feel that and people are, and a lot of us actors are worried that we're going to get replaced by AI. And I am one of those people that are worried about it. Like I get it for using it as a tool, like whether if it's for certain things and all that, but I feel that it doesn't have the integrity to it, if that makes sense. It's just maybe I'm old school, and maybe I'm just somebody that's used to practical effects, all that stuff. And I believe in, because like the thing when you think of it like this, it's affecting not just actors, it's affecting hair and makeup artists, wardrobe people, uh, transportation services, and even catering companies, believe it or not, that do catering on movie sets. And so, but I've been focusing mainly on music for the most part lately. But I have been acting a little bit, and I'm shooting a film next week, the Blind Fate movie next week. So I'm excited for that. And working with the director of that movie, Ernie Rivera. I worked with him in the past, and he's always been great. And but anyways, yeah. So I've been doing a lot of music stuff lately. I've gotten to play in a band with Clint Howard, who is the brother of Ron Howard. Clint has done so many movies and TV shows since he was a kid, and his career is absolutely impeccable. And I'm really happy to be involved in a band with him. And we've recorded some great songs that we're hoping to put out there. And one of those songs is actually going to be in his upcoming film, Another Ice Cream Man.
Oh, do you believe AI has replaced artists or martial artists or actors?
I don't want to believe it entirely,
Yeah.
like, because I know that, SAG-AFTRA, I know that they're really trying hard to fight AI. Like, they're trying to, like, do things where they can, not abolish it or like ban it, but like regulate it. And which I can understand because the thing is, AI has like I had mentioned, AI does have it has its advantages, but at the same time, it has its detrimental impact, however, because you think about it, like somebody could create a video of somebody could create a fake surveillance video of somebody robbing a store and it could be fake and people could believe it. That's how I believe it's detrimental, and that's why I think that it needs to be, you know, regulated and watched.
Yeah. Like for people who've been supporting you for years, like those who know you,
Mhm.
they know, no, this is that page cannot be an AI. But for those who are new, for those who don't know you, they might say it's an AI, like you're a faker, you're not a real martial artist, you know.
Yeah, because like the thing is, I feel that, the AI martial arts videos, I mean, the thing is this, there's no doubt that AI is getting more advanced. And, the fact that they're able to do videos like that,
Yeah.
it's kind of scary when you think of it. Because I remember one of my buddies, martial artist Emilian DeFalco, who did a
Oh,
movie. Yeah, Emilian, he's a buddy of mine.
oh,
Uh,
taekwondoist.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Emilian has spoken his opinion on it as well, and like how people are taking AI, people are taking his videos and other people's videos that he knows, and they're replacing him with other people in it. And it's like, you know, the fact that, people are like taking martial arts videos and then faking them with other people on them, it's like, that's what's scary too. It's like, because, like, and I can tell, and the thing with that is, I don't want to say that AI, like I had mentioned, I don't want to say that AI is entirely bad, but I feel that there's people that do abuse it, if that makes sense.
I can tell, like, I can tell from that video, like, if I'm not mistaken, there's a video of a fat guy who does who does taekwondo and is trending, but you can tell
Hmm.
it's in AI. It's not real.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
they take that video and add Malin de Falco,
Yeah, yeah,
which
and
makes him
and
look
th-
bad.
yeah,
Which
it
which makes him
does.
look bad. Yeah.
Yeah, but Emilian's one of the best, man. He's great with his kicks. His kicks are absolutely amazing, and Emilian's a sweet guy too. Like I first met him at his martial arts studio in LA,
Yeah.
where he was hosting a seminar for they were doing a best of the best seminar with
Oh,
Philip Ree, Master Philip Ree, Master Simon Ree, and James Liu. And Mr. James Liu is another wonderful guy who taught me a couple of techniques with fight choreography as well.
yeah.
And and like they're all such wonderful people. And Master Philip Ree and Master Simon Ree are wonderful guys too. I've had the pleasure of meeting on more than one occasion, and I've had gotten to learn a bit of their techniques as well at their seminar. And they're very tough guys. That's all I'll say.
Best of the
And
best.
they are best of the best. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But no. And I've told them that they are the best at what they do, and I really admire them for that. And I've told Master Simon Ree that I would love to work with him one day. So we're hoping that happens one day that I get to work with them. But I admire those guys so much. I really do.
I do too. We were bound to do this.
Mhm.
You all know, and dreams do come true.
That's right. It's just one of those things you gotta just hold. Don't ever be afraid to follow your dreams. And anybody that's wanting to be an actor, all I can say is shoot for the moon, reach for the stars, and but at the same time, know your worth, stand your ground. Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something, you can't do this, you can't do that, or stomp on you. Always, always do what makes you happy. That's all I can say.
Like you shouldn't listen to people others. They may discourage you, like due for your physical appearance. They may say you are not fit to. They may say you are too skinny, for an example, and then you start listening to them.
Hmm.
What I'm trying to say, you shouldn't listen to what people are saying.
No, not at all.
Sometimes it might be friends or family or people who are close to you.
Well, the thing is,
Yeah.
people can be ruthless and they can be very judgmental. And the one thing is, I always am one of those people that believes the only opinion that should matter is your own, no
Yeah.
one else's.
You have to be self-motivated. You have
Mhm.
that warrior mindset, martial spirit.
That's right.
You have to push yourself. If you put much of your trust on people, tomorrow they turn on you, and then you start feeling hopeless, and that is gonna be your greatest downfall.
E- Exactly. Exactly. I agree.
Yeah. Between Nunchaku, whole staff, and
Oh,
calisthenics,
oh, favorite weapon.
yeah,
Favorite
which one
weapon.
do you
Favorite
prefer?
weapon. Favorite weapon. Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta go with a bow staff, because we've experimented at my martial arts school with bow staff, and there's something like I love that we've done like a techniques like of like mostly choreography. Like we've done like choreography with the bow staff and all that, and it's pretty fun to do. And then we've also done kata sticks as well in our martial arts school as well. We've experimented with those too. And yeah, I have a lot of fun with kata sticks and bow staffs. Yeah, I think those are the main two that I like. Yeah, like with bow staff, like we did different techniques of going high, low, like different like techniques, and then like kind of like we would like so what we would do is like we play like 1 minute we play the aggressor and 1 minute we play the defender, kind of like showing like where one would be like as acting like as if one is the attacker and then one is the defender, if that makes sense. And that's what's fun about it. Yeah, but I'd say the bow staff is definitely up there with my favorite martial arts weapon.
We also believe that you can work on a street fight.
Yeah.
Okay, like an example, like in the States, you're walking in the street in the middle of the night, then the two guys, they jump you. Okay, maybe you pick something like the street fight. Since you love
S-
the poster,
Stick fight. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would would say that the stick fighting stuff is definitely a lot of fun, especially doing like the kata sticks. Like we do like the double kata sticks as well, where we do like
Yeah,
different like the techniques and all that. And and then also the like also I also did swords training too. So I also have experience with the swords training as well. It's been a minute
yeah,
since I've done swords training because my trainer unfortunately moved out of LA. He moved to Florida, but I learned a lot in sword play with him. And it was mainly for pirate shows. We would do pirate shows where we would play pirates and we would do steel sword fighting. And we did even the double cutlets as well. And doing the double cutlets was a lot of fun because and they would get, when we would do this in front of audiences,
yeah.
they would go nuts seeing it. People would be like, whoa, that's amazing. And so like I was able to incorporate, my martial arts skills with, sword fighting as well. And even before I started martial arts, I had stage combat experience with the sword fighting. So I was already very familiar with those. I was already very familiar with sword fighting. So when I was introduced to kata sticks, I took what I knew, the knowledge that I had with sword fighting into the kata sticks.
For instance, with calisthenics, like it's I guess if you're moving and like it's like kata, if I can put it
Yes.
that way. Yeah, kata. So you're doing a kata.
Yeah.
You confuse your enemy. So it's easy
Yeah.
to strike. It's easy to strike this.
Yeah. And that's
So
another thing, like confusing your opponent is always important because the thing is, the thing is, depending on how your opponent is, trying to throw them off guard is always is important, and trying to make sure that you, when you throw them off guard and you get that opportunity to strike them the way you want to, that's like when you know that you're doing it right. But and the thing with martial arts especially is because the one thing that I asked I think it was my grandmaster's son. I wanted to know how can I see, like, I think one of my questions with my grandmaster's son was how do you how do you see something coming? Like, how do you expect the unexpected? And the one thing he always told me is you have to analyze body language, and you always have to analyze, like look in their eyes and like look at their body language and like know when it's gonna happen, and you have to be quick too.
yeah,
And the thing is, like, and the thing about martial arts, and I will admit I've slacked on this at times, is sometimes being quick enough to defend. And I will admit, like, I've always been great at striking. I will give that. My defense has always been my defense is decent, but I've always felt like I could do better at defense. Especially like, I mean, like, I know how to do the blocks and all that, but I think the thing is, I think everybody's goal as a martial artist is to be faster and be
number one.
more, yeah, exactly.
Speed and power. Those two are the
Speed and power,
yeah, most important. Speed and power.
speed and speed and power. And I will say when I trained with Master Simon Ree at a seminar one time, he was so fast. It was hard to see what he was doing. It was hard to see coming, like what he was going to do. Like he had to like, he says you have to react quick and all that. And I was like, like he got me multiple times, when we were training with I think it was like a foam sword that he had, and he got me so quick that I was just like, geez, this guy's so fast. And but like Master Simon Ree, the one thing about Master Simon Ree, like when he trains people, is he he goes all out. But that's what I admire about him is that he wants you to always be alert and what your surroundings. But the thing about I notice about Master Simon Ree is he's very quick at what he does.
Yeah, that's speed. Interesting thing about calisthenics. They also use it on capoeira.
They do.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
capoeira.
capoeira. Same way the Ginga using the capoeira.
Yeah. I experimented I don't have much knowledge on capoeira. I mean, I'm familiar with it. I'm very familiar with how it works and all that.
Yeah,
I've experimented like a couple of moves because when I was a part of a stunt team a few years ago, one of our martial arts guys was one of his I think he was Muay Thai and capoeira were his two primary martial arts that he trained in. And he taught me a couple of moves, including the scorpion tail. And it took me more than once to master it. Like it was pretty hard, but I managed to get it like after a while. But I do have a lot of respect for capoeira because I can tell it's a very intense martial art.
yeah. You know, you are located to got friends the Gage, Samli Mark Aplankat.
Yeah,
I believe you know we've got Brian Lee, Andy Lee, the martial park,
yeah, absolutely.
all the get of them. Located in LA, where you're at.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, no,
And,
definitely.
and
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm not familiar with them, but yeah, but I would definitely look into them for sure.
yeah, they love the doing content is special in the park.
And they're in Los Angeles as well?
Yeah,
LA?
yeah,
All
LA.
right. Yeah, yeah. I'll definitely I'll definitely look them up for sure.
Yeah, of course.
And I
Yeah,
also I managed to experiment a little bit in I think it was the kata sticks that I was experimenting from in Filipino martial arts. I think that's where I mean I'm not I think because one of my friends who is a Filipino martial artist, he was teaching me some techniques in the martial arts that he grew up training in with the kata sticks and all that. And we were doing some choreography with that because like I do like fight choreography as well. And yeah, like even the Filipino martial arts are very intense as well, and that's what I like about it.
the martial artist, it's good to walk in the street, carrying a weapon.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, I mean, like if you're walking in the street with like weapons, I mean, I don't think you're gonna, I don't think anybody's gonna mess with you. Yeah.
I mean, like unarmed, like you're armed, like you're armed, like you are carrying a gun.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Like even like that, I so even with firearms experience, I've experimented a little bit in firearms in film.
Yeah,
Like like I did that like because when I did stunts on Westworld, I had to end up being given a gun for a shot for a scene that I did in that TV show because I was replacing somebody that didn't show up and I remember they had asked me if I had experience with firearms, and I had told them that I had a family background in law enforcement, so
yeah.
I had a little bit of that extensive. I've had a little bit of that extensive training in firearms, and it was definitely a very fun experience to do that. And when uh, I remember when I did that, I hang on one second. Yeah. Yeah. One second, my son's coming in. All right. I'll see you in a bit, buddy. Okay, one second. Sorry, my wife and my son came in.
Uh,
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. What happened was I with Westworld, I had then told the armorer that I had a background in the in like the I had a family background in law enforcement, so I had firearms experience, and we got to do this battle scene. It was a huge battle scene that was like explosions were going off everywhere. And I remember like blanks were being shot left and right on set, and it was a lot of fun. And I mean, I'm sure it was definitely we had to choreograph the whole battle scene, but it was a lot of fun to like shoot that and like to but like I the thing with firearms is I the thing with firearms is like it's definitely something that needs it's a very topical thing in today's day and age with firearms, especially because movies now these days are relying on CGI more than using actual blanks in movies these days. And me personally, I like using blanks in a film, and more the same reason why I like practical effects in a film is because I like realism. I like when something feels authentic, whereas I mean, I have nothing against CGI, but I just feel like that, CGI, I just feel like it's like how would I put it? Practical effects feel like it's more authentic and it's more realistic. Like same with like, practical effect monsters, like back in the 80s, you had monsters in movies that were practical effects when you didn't have CGI back then.
King
And
Kong.
like King Kong, exactly, or the Terminator even like when it was stop motion animation and it was also a puppeteer with an actual figure like an actual giant figure of the Terminator. And that's what I liked about those movies back then is I feel like there was a lot of realism. And then when Terminator 2 and Jurassic Park came along, that was when CGI was starting to get more advanced. And what I did like about Jurassic Park is how they combined what made it look realistic was the combined use of CGI and practical effects. And that's where I feel that fight guns in movies, play a same part into it. I just feel like that when gunfire is like CGI'd, like the muzzle flash is CGI'd, it just doesn't look real to me. It just looks too fake, if that makes sense.
Like in Hong Kong, they use dummies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Even though,
they use some sort of a dummy. Like my favorite film, one of my favorite film, like Black Paradas, also known as No Retreat, No Surrender. Great, Black Paradas, released in 1990, played by Lauren Avedon and
Lord Abaddon, yeah,
Kate Bechdel.
yeah, keep it
What
telling,
what I did realize at the end of that film, while they were firing Ryan Hanka and
yeah,
and Mark Russo, when it fall from that ladder,
hmm
it was a dummy. They used the dummy.
yes. And that
Even
that's and the thing about action movies now, there's some good action movies that come out today. I will say that. Like I've been watching like even like I've been watching a movie like The Smashing Machine with Dwayne Johnson,
oh
and it was a really good movie. I mean, it was action and it was drama, and feel like that there is still some good action movies out there. I mean, it's very hard to replicate what was done in the 80s and 90s, like because it was a different era back then, and it was a different time, and cameras were different, special effects were different, and all that. And whereas now it's a bit dated, but the thing is, like, even like when you look at newer action films like the Expendables films,
yeah,
they take a bit of that nostalgia and mesh it with modern cinema, which is what I liked. And the thing with the Expendables films is I think that the action in that is absolutely incredible.
yeah, yeah. Those real stuntmen.
Yes.
Real
Yeah.
stunt.
Yeah. My good friend Tony Messenger, who was Dolph Lundgren's stunt double and he still is his stunt double. A lot of that fight you see in Expendables, the first one between him and Jet Li.
Yeah.
Tony's doing a lot of that. Tony's doing a lot of that fighting, and I can tell in which angles which is Dolph and which is Tony. And Dolph did some great stuff too in that fight scene. I would never discredit Dolph at all.
Yeah.
But like I will say Tony and Dolph made that scene incredible. And of course Jet Li is amazing at what he does as well.
Do you believe a boxer is more superior than a martial artist?
Well, the thing with boxing and martial arts is they're two different styles of fighting.
Okay.
And the thing is the thing with boxing and martial arts is they're both effective in their own ways.
Yeah.
Boxing it's obvious boxing is all upper body. It's all punching mainly and all like blocking and like, counter striking and all that. Whereas martial arts, it can be a variety of different things. It could be taekwondo, it could be karate, it could be capoeira, it could be Muay Thai, it could be anything. Whereas, I feel that, it's very hard to like say it's hard to say that like it's like a hard comparison. It's like trying to say that, how I'm trying to figure out how I would put it. But the thing with boxing and martial arts is boxing is effective, they're both I will say this. Boxing and martial arts are very effective and they're both, very good to learn in both ways. Because boxing can teach you, proper grounding. Boxing can teach you, proper defense, proper technique, counter striking, and all that.
Yeah.
And that's where you stuff like UFC comes in and is like where they've combined everything, including boxing, kickboxing, karate,
Wrestling.
jujitsu,
Yeah.
wrestling, everything. So
Everything.
I mean, yeah. So I would say it's like a it's a good that's a good it's a good question what you asked. I will say
Yeah.
that. But I will say that, it's not really I don't believe it's something that we can really compare to each other. I feel like to an extent it's like apples and oranges. It's like you can't really compare the two. But I have respect for both. I mean I didn't experiment I experimented mainly kickboxing, not too much boxing. And I experimented mainly taekwondo, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, and hapkido were the martial arts that I learned. Because like the taekwondo school that I go to experiments in those other forms of martial arts. And the difference between martial arts and kickboxing is very strength oriented and all about putting all your strength into it and not so much about technique. Whereas martial arts is all about technique, proper stance, proper footing, proper groundwork, and all that as well. Uh, Benny the Jet Urquidez told me
Yeah.
he was a gymnast too, and because that's how he was able to do those backflips too and all that. And that's but yeah, it's always good to not put your eggs all in one basket,
Yeah.
and if that makes sense, like not focus on one thing. Kind of like with me, like I don't only do just acting and martial arts. I also have a musical background. Like having a variety of different skills are very beneficial. I mean, whether if it's part of your profession or whether if it's part of just your everyday life or if it's part of especially if you're an entertainer,
Yeah.
having all those multiple skills are very beneficial. Like whether if it's dancing, bodybuilding, or ballet, or martial arts, or music, or anything like that. Especially when it comes to film and when it comes down to acting, having all those types of skills, if like because a casting director is gonna want to see, they're gonna want somebody who can do martial arts on film
Yeah.
and do it well. and they want somebody that can already do it. They don't want to go to somebody that needs the training, and they don't want to go through the process of them training. They
yeah,
want somebody that can do it on the spot at times. Sometimes, well, then again, they're in the Karate Kid, they all wanted when they ended up casting the characters for it, they wanted guys that weren't martial artists in it. And I think that was when the late Pat Johnson had trained those actors. I believe it was Pat Johnson who did it, if I'm not mistaken, who trained those actors for martial arts for the Karate Kid films.
yeah. Compared to Michael J. White and John Paul Pendant,
Hmm.
they are also muscular uh,
That's right.
and athletic.
Yeah, and Michael's a super nice guy too.
Yeah.
I had the pleasure of meeting him last year. He's a very down to earth guy. I did a movie with him a few years ago. We weren't in the same scene together, but he was one of the main stars of the movie. It was him and Frank Grillo.
Wow.
And and yeah, the days that I was on set, Michael wasn't there, but when I had met Michael, I had told him that we had worked on this movie that we were in together, but we didn't do the same scenes together. But I told Michael, I hope one day that I could have an opportunity to work with you. And I told him that I really admired his work. And I really, my first introduction to Michael was Universal Soldier: The Return, and I thought that I remember just, and then when I saw Blood and Bone,
Yeah.
I just thought his martial arts capabilities were just out of this world. And I thought that there's no doubt that Michael is up there with being one of the best martial artists. I have a lot of respect for what he does.
If you have to give advice uh, to today's youth, what advice would you give them?
If I were to give advice to our youth of today, I would say follow your heart, you know,
Yeah.
and always make good judgment, surround yourself with the right kind of people.
Yeah.
Surround yourself with people that want to see you grow, that want to see you do well, that want to motivate you and that want to push you in the right direction.
Yeah.
And always exclude the negativity and those negative kinds of people.
Yeah.
And I would say any advice I'd give, like join a martial arts school. Yeah, like join a martial arts school. Yeah, like go to your local like it doesn't matter where you live. Go to your local martial arts school.
Yeah.
Take a class, see if you like it, and if you want to stick with it, stick with it. But if you don't, all I can say is do what you want to do. Do what makes you happy. Do what is you feel will be beneficial for you in the future.
How would you motivate them?
Oh, how would I motivate them? So the thing is, everybody needs a motivator.
Yeah.
Everybody needs advice.
Yeah.
Even I at times, even me, somebody who tends to give advice at times, even me who tries to be a motivator at times, even I need motivation. Even I need inspiration, and everybody needs it.
Yeah.
How I would do it is, always telling them, always keep your head up high, and don't ever be afraid of failure. And if and one thing that my dad always told me was, if you fall, you always get back up, no matter what.
Yeah. Okay, brother. Archive, I'd like to thank you for your time. Thank you for doing this.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
I hope we do it next time.
Yes,
Thanks for your,
absolutely. All
thanks for your
righty.
time, man. Yeah.
You're very welcome. All right. Take care.
Okay.